There are times in all of our lives when we feel like we don't fit in, when we are what we would call down in the dumps. Moderator Tom Menke shared an experience when that happened to him one time as a child.
My mother noticed me sitting in the corner of the living room, and she just came over, didn't ask me what was wrong, just gave me a big hug. And it was one of those embraces that I think we've all felt in our lives, where we know that someone loves us deeply. They don't try and fix us. They just love us for who we are, our imperfections and all.
The 2025 District Conference theme calls on congregations to do the same, to love others for who they are, and embrace the imperfections that we see in others and in ourselves. Dennis Delk never thought of himself as a pastor, but after a lifetime of working within his home congregation, his district executive invited him to explore a pastoral role at the Good Shepherd congregation.
It seems like the first Sunday I was here, it was my home church. Somehow or another, God has lifted me up and gotten me through this to where now I do believe I am able. I guess I never thought I was good enough before.
But God worked through Dennis's inexperience and those imperfections, and he is now being embraced by the congregation.
People are very happy and they look forward to his messages. They look forward to interacting with Dennis, and it's been a wonderful thing for us.
There are numerous examples throughout our district where congregations have looked past the differences that they may have with others and embraced a common goal. The West Charleston congregation, it was focusing on the common bond that they feel during their Love Feast service.
It brings all of us together in a way that no other service that we do all year long does.
And this church is so diverse that it is it's just great to be a part of. And you know, the Love Feast feels like an embodiment of us.
We had a man who was 101 years old, and we had a little baby who's only 3 months old, and we have people from Mexico originally background, people from Honduras. We have a family from Africa. Yeah, we have people who've been here for decades and others who are brand new to the church. So it's a real mix of people.
There is a real sense of love among the people that are here, even if we don't understand the languages very well. The love is obvious and strongly felt.
And there's a common goal among the members of the East Dayton congregation to serve people in their neighborhood who have diverse needs, but who are welcomed despite any imperfections that may exist.
Everyone in this neighborhood needs a little bit of help.
But the congregation is united in its focus.
Following Jesus entails serving the poor, serving the people on the margins of society. We want our actions, our services, to not just tell it with our mouths, but to do it with our hands. The people who come here are intentional. They are focused on knowing Jesus, walking with Jesus, and serving the poor.
This very diverse congregation provides meals, clothing, counseling, and spiritual support to the community as a way of living out Jesus' call to serve others. At the Beaver Creek congregation, the focus last May was on hygiene kits for Church World Service as their way of sharing love with those during times of disasters.
People recognize the fact that when you have lost everything, you're grateful for a toothbrush and a bar of soap.
None of us are focusing on differences or our issues or anything like that. And we are bringing our imperfections to the table to get the work done. And so it is creating a good that's greater than the sum of all of us.
I know there are differences of opinion within the congregation, but when you tag service with it, we're just ready to jump in.
There's some very basic principles involved in Christianity that Jesus taught us. The greatest of these is love. When we do learn how to love, that's when we can be most like Jesus, who is a model for our lives.
Pastors Tony Price and Trent Smith, although coming to some issues from different places and serving different congregations, discovered that friendship and a common ministry goal are far more important than any differences they might have.
how to interpret the scriptures as I'm trying to do faithfully, and I understand he's trying to do faithfully. And I think that's the challenge, is I never have doubted Trent's faithfulness to Christ. And I trust that he's never doubted that in me.
There have been moments where I've been really struggling, and I would call Tony and know that at any moment he would be able to offer support and love for what I may be experiencing here or going through. And hopefully I've been able to offer that to Tony as well.
The differences we see in each other and the imperfections we see in ourselves are all part of our lives. And like the mother who hugs her son, we can provide that love to others.
That's the sort of countercultural message that the church can carry nowadays, is to say, we may see eye on these things, but our commitment to who Jesus is, our commitment to following in those footsteps, can allow us to be together. And in fact, it calls us to be together and to share in the bonds of deep community together. I think that's a message worth sharing nowadays.
To love each other, regardless of our differences and things that we may think are imperfections. Through our frailties, our what we consider imperfections, it leaves the opportunity for God to come in and do His work and for His Spirit to move within us.